This first video has some tips and tricks on general overview of the exam question and how to approach it. There will also be subsequent videos that you can watch where I go through the answer for each of the requirements of this 25 mark question. First bit of information you're going to see on the screen, if this was set up in the exam software, you'd probably just see this first bit of information down to about here. We would see that we are looking at a couple, Meg and her husband Laurie, and they're going to be looking for advice on bringing the husband into the business either as an employee or indeed as a partner. A sale of rights nil paid by Laurie, and then the VAT implications of buying in services from an overseas supplier. So in your exam, you're going to have an initial screen that's got this kind of summary information, this overview. There often is a little bit of general information as well, perhaps in an exhibit about the individual and their setup. But what I really would jump to next is the requirements. So this is a 25 mark question, and we can see that we've got the detailed requirements here. You've got 5 professional marks as always for a 25 mark question. You can't guess what those are in terms of the specific competencies they're looking for, so there's really no point in you wasting time worrying about it. We've got 4 things to do. We've got requirement A, which is split into 2 parts, a 3 marker and an 8 marker. The 3 marker is just asking us to calculate the trading loss to Meg and Laurie if Laurie is an employee or indeed a partner. And then the second requirement is giving advice on alternative ways of using the loss depending on what Laurie's status is, and we've got to state the rate of income tax that would be saved in each case. In part B, we're being asked to explain with supporting calculations CGT impact of the sale of rights nil paid, and then in the third requirement we've got the VAT to do. So do you see how these 3 requirements match up to that summary we had at the beginning? We had a summary about how to deal with Meg bringing Laurie into the business as an employee or a partner. We had how to deal with the sale of rights nil paid, and then also VAT issues to do with purchasing in services from overseas. So that matches up with requirement A, B and C. And then if we jump into the more detailed information, which will be sitting in an exhibit on the left hand side of your screen, you'll see that you've got different headings. Now they might have split the exhibits up here. You might have had an exhibit with the rights issue information and the VAT separately. You might have had one that was all about Laurie and one that was all about Meg and MT travel. But however it's split up, they more often than not will use headings to split up the information as well. And so you can look down this and go, well, I know that part C is all about VAT. And look, there's a heading about VAT. I know that requirement B is about rights nil paid. And look, there's a whole section there on rights issues. We're given some information about Laurie, probably going to affect part A. We've got some information on Meg, which probably is going to affect part A. And then we've got information about the actual business. So that's probably going to affect part A, but may also affect some of the other parts as well. So all of that, spending a couple of minutes at the beginning, doing all of that prep work, and the order in which you read the information can save you time and also make more sense. You can start to really think about how your answer is going to pull together. Because as you then read through the more detailed information about Meg and her business and her husband, you already know this is a situation where we're thinking about bringing the husband in as an employee or a partner, and we know that there's some sort of loss as well. And you know all of that before you even start reading. That's a much better use of your time than reading all of this information first of all, and then getting to the requirements. Because yes, you'll read this information, but there's no way you're remembering all of this. And then you've to read the requirements, you're going to end up going back and reading all that information again. So read the requirements first, then jump into the exhibits, and you will save yourself time and you will have a much better focus on exactly what you've to do. So it's a 25 mark question. You want to be using around 45 minutes for this. It's a section B question being a 25 mark question. If you allocate 45 minutes to your section B questions, each of them, and 90 minutes to your section A 50 mark question, you should have 15 minutes still left over to do reading, planning. I personally would probably use that for the section A question. I find, and you'll see this as you look through more past paper questions, that the 25 markers tend to be easier to navigate, easier to get going. They don't take as much planning or reading or thinking as the 50 mark question, which has quite a lot of information in the exhibits. So I would use all of my reading time in section A, and with the 25 markers I would just use the 45 minutes. Now, if you get extra time in the exam, make sure that you're using that when you're doing any questions to time. Make sure you multiply up and give yourself a bit more time as well to make it more realistic for yourself. You should be using the practice platform on the ACCA test reach system. You access it through My ACCA, and you go in there and you'll find a blank workspace, assign it to your workspace, and you can go in, and within there you can click on the word processing answer space and the spreadsheet answer space, and you can just create your answer in there. That's going to give you the best preparation for your exam, because that's what you want to be using. You don't want to be using Excel and Word. They don't have the same capabilities as what they have more capabilities than the exam software. So you want to get used to using something very similar to the exam software. You certainly don't want to be handwriting anything here. You've got a computer-based exam. You need to be practicing on computer. Okay, so if you haven't already had a go at the Meg and Laurie question, I want you, once you've ended this video, I want you to go away and do the Meg and Laurie question from the exam kit, and then come back and watch the rest of the videos working through the answers and compare what I've done versus what you have done.
I hope you find this video useful. Please hit like and don't forget to subscribe. If you've only looked at one requirement so far, please do check out the videos for the other requirements. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions on these areas.